And ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the governor of the great state of Idaho, Governor Butch Otter.
Thank you, Mark, and welcome to the state's capital. You know, it's been no surprise in the days since Cecil's passing that so many people have shared their fond memories through our switchboards and through our mail system. A lot has been said about him as a beloved leader, a cherished patron, an avid sportsman, a committed conservationist, and a dear friend. Expressions of praise and mourning have come from throughout Idaho and around the country, from Democrats and Republicans, from liberals and conservatives. We've heard from politicians and pundits and people who never met Cecil Andrus, but admired his style, his guts, and his determination to stand up for what he believed was right. Every word of that has been true, and it has been heartfelt. But I want to talk for a minute about what made Cecil so special in the context of today's bitter partisan ideological divides. I became lieutenant governor in 1987, at the same time that Cecil returned for his second go-round. They called us the landslide twins. If you'll recall, I beat Marjorie Ruth Moon by 3 votes per precinct. Cecil beat Dave Leroy by 5 votes per precinct. So he still reminded me that he had beaten me in that race. People who knew me from my maverick days in the legislature a decade earlier figured there would be quite a train wreck with a political odd couple like Andrus and Otter in the State House. And it was true. We had our differences. We had contrasting political styles. He was more polished and strategic. I was in need of what Cecil constantly called new training wheels. But while we disagreed, there was no train wreck. There was, in fact, a validation that in 1890, when our founders put our system of government together for Idaho and made the lieutenant governor the president of the Senate, there was a validation of that to the 100th year. Because in 1990, when Cecil and I were reelected for a second term, that was the year we had 21 Republicans and 21 Democrats in the Senate. And folks were having a field day with that because I had the tiebreaker and he had the veto stamp. He could still one-up me on that. But anyway, there was no train wreck. And the big public blow-ups that everybody had predicted simply didn't happen because this Republican and that Democrat decided that long before that we were going to do and agree upon what was the best for Idaho. Did we have our disagreements? We said absolutely we had our disagreements. But they were always in Cecil's office. They were never on the first 5 minutes of the radio news or the front page of the newspaper. We did have those disagreements. But we also had Idaho's best at heart, and he led the way. I guess we picked up enough from folks who showed us the ropes that it never occurred to us to be too strident, too dogmatic, or unwilling to compromise in the public interest. A lot of folks now in Washington, D.C., and right here in this building, could take a lesson from Cecil Andrus about how to treat people that you work with, whether you agree with them or not. And it's not just about getting things done, it's about taking the long view. It's about realizing that those people you disagree with are as earnest and as sincere as you are. I've told Cecil several times, Cecil, I know you're sincere about this, but you're just sincerely wrong. He told me the same thing. It's about being able to keep on doing business tomorrow with people that you disagree with today. And most of all, it's about giving the respect that you want to receive. Cecil Andrus always gave as good as he got in politics, in relationships, and in life. He left a legacy of professional accomplishment and personal affection that's tough to match. As St. Thomas Aquinas said, the things that we love tell us what we are. By that measure, Cecil Andrus was Idaho. We were fortunate to call him an Idahoan. I was blessed to call him my friend.